John Kerry is, of course, our Secretary of State, and he's been going back and forth between Israel and the U.S. For a long time trying to get a peace deal. He's working really hard at it. Now, we haven't gotten very far on it, but at least it's a nice effort. That's the way I perceive it. But apparently, the Israeli Minister of Defense, Moshe Ya'alon, does not perceive it that way. He finds it ridiculous. Interesting. And he had some fairly harsh words for Senator John Kerry, who is now, of course, Secretary of State John Kerry, as I mentioned. So he says the American plan for security arrangements that was shown to us isn't worth the paper it was written on. Now, of course, he thinks that because the American plan does not unilaterally give Israel every single thing they want, so he finds it, of course, unacceptable. He goes on to say, Secretary of State John Kerry, who arrived here determined and who operates from an incomprehensible obsession and a sense of messianism, can't teach me anything about the conflict with the Palestinians. So basically he's saying, this guy, he doesn't understand Palestinians. The only thing Palestinians understand is violence. Anytime somebody tells you the only thing someone else understands is violence, they're telling you the only thing they understand is violence. So it appears that the Israeli defense minister has no interest in peace, saying that he's that Kerry's operating from an incomprehensible obsession with peace. I think that's exactly what I would want the Secretary of State to operate from, right? And if that wasn't all clear enough, he also says, the only thing that might save us is if John Kerry wins the Nobel Prize and leaves us be. Like, this guy tried to win a peace prize. The Israeli defense minister apparently has no interest in peace. So, well, at least now we know. Now, of course, that's not what's causing the controversy. What's causing the controversy is that you have insulted someone in power. Now, Palestinians' homes you can crush all day long. In fact, Israel just announced that they're building another 1,800 homes for settlers in the West Bank. Nothing new. We're not going to be that outraged by it. To be fair, though, the U.S. is against that and has denounced that move. But if you actually insult someone that are in the halls of power and it's in the cocktail circuit in Washington, that's a big no-no. So the administration was pissed. And Jay Carney, speaking for the administration, said, to question Secretary Kerry's motives and distort his proposals is not something we would expect from the defense minister of a close ally. Damn. That's maybe one of the harshest things I've ever seen the U.S. government say about Israel. It's not that harsh, but I mean, when's the last time you saw any disagreement, right? And then a State Department official said, quote, we expect the Prime Minister to put this right by expressing publicly his disagreement with the statements against Secretary Kerry. In other words, he better watch himself. And Netanyahu, in the most diplomatic thing he's ever done in his life, actually did come out and say, whoa, 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 whoa. Look, we might disagree with certain positions of the government, the U.S. government, but let's not make this personal. Is he not merciful? Okay, that's like kind of a quarter of an apology. Not bad. And now when we go back to the defense minister, he actually had to apologize, and he said, Israel and the United States share a common goal to advance peace talks. All right, good one. Between Israel and the Palestinians, led by Secretary Kerry. Okay, who believes that apology? Okay, I'm glad he made it. That's the diplomatic thing to do, and it's good, right? Repair the relationship between allies, etc. But do you really believe that guy wants peace, led by Secretary Kerry? He continued, the defense minister had no intention, his office said this, had no intention to cause any offense to the secretary, and he apologizes if the secretary was offended by words attributed to the minister. Like, in other words, like, did I say that? I don't know if I said that. Okay, if you were offended by it and you're kind of a girly man about that, but all right, fine, sure, if you're offended by words I might or might not have said, sure, I kind of halfway apologize. Okay, well, apology accepted, apparently, by the U.S. government. We're back to agreeing on everything 100%. So I bring you this story for two reasons. One, it gives you a sense of the Israeli government. They're just dragging out the time here, man. Because as time goes by and we don't have a peace deal, they build more and more settlements in the West Bank and grab more and more land. That's the game that's being played. They have no intention of making any peace deal. I wish it weren't the case. I would wish they would listen to the significant portion of their population who do want a peace deal and who do want a two-state solution. But that's not the right-wing government of Israel. They don't have an interest in that. The second reason I give this to you is because it is literally the first time I've seen a disagreement and words exchanged by the U.S. and Israel in years. Not ever. I've seen it from time to time. It'll flare up every once in a while, a minor disagreement like this. But hey, do you believe in miracles? Apparently we don't agree 100% of the time on 100% of the issues. And the fact that that's surprising is really the saddest thing of all. Of course we agree with a lot of our allies, right? But when we're trying to be the middleman in those negotiations, can the Palestinians really trust us that we're neutral between them and the Israelis? Come on.